We shall move on. Next question. Charlie, hi, Dutch. The Undertaker tells a bit of a story about when they were starting out in Texas. They both talk about a match where Austin and told Undertaker he was going to stretch him. They said you were there and kind of stirred the pot. Can you tell what you remember of that story? Thanks.
Well, it wasn't in Texas. It was in Tennessee. And I was the booker, and I had brought Undertaker in, and Stone Cold Steve Austin was brought in, but not by me. He was brought in by Jerry Jarrett. That was an office-to-office arrangement. And I can't remember the name, but it was right outside Nashville on I-40, some little high school out there, or maybe it was a National Guard Armory. But we all dressed in the same dressing room, and they were kidding each other. And Stone Cold wasn't kidding Undertaker. Undertaker was kidding Stone Cold. And they were both laughing. And something about, see if you can stretch me. We'll go out there and we'll try it. So I started the match with the other guy that was Taker's buddy. Then I got in the ring with Taker a minute. And then both of them were saying, tag Steve. Steve said, tag me. I said, okay. I didn't know what they were doing. I didn't know they were like kind of serious about it, because all the signs I should have gotten in the dressing room, I didn't get because they were kind of kidding around about it. And Steve was. Undertaker wasn't, though, because he didn't like being ripped by Steve. I'm going to stretch you. Okay. So they get in the ring and they lock up. And I call this an old Southern Tennessee saying, they wallered. It's wallowed, really, but they wallered around the ring for about a minute, trying to do this and trying to do that. And it was the most boring, say, minute or 90 seconds I've ever seen in the wrestling ring. And finally, Undertaker wrapped him up somehow. And they're just laying there looking at each other. And the fans are looking at them. I'm looking at them. I'm looking at the fans. I went, this is the shits. Finally, I called into the ring. All right, Mark, let him up. Hey, Mark, let him up. And I think I must not have said it loud enough. Finally, a fan at ringside said, Mark, let him up. And so they got up, and then they tagged out, and then we continued the match. Then we got back in the dressing room. They went over there and shook each other's hand. And I said, damn, that was awful, guys. What the hell? And about me stirring the pot, I don't remember stirring the pot, really. I didn't have to stir the pot. The pot was already boiling.
Who were you riding with that night?
I forgot. It wasn't far from where I lived, so I probably rode by myself. It was only like 30 miles from where I lived.
So you didn't get the
no
sort of car ride complaints afterwards then?
Well, I was probably riding with Taker then. I remember it was around Christmas. I do remember it was kind of cold weather outside. I do remember that. But I never did get the story. All I got was, well, he just said he could do it. And I said, do it. And he said, I'll do it. And we'll do it. Well, I will. Okay, let's do it. And they got in the ring and they did it, or whatever they did. And then I told them to get up because they were embarrassing all of us. And oh, you should have seen the tag. They both got up like, all right, get in, boy. That was the coldest tag ever of all wrestling history. It was a cold tag on both ends. So that was how it ended.
Was it Godfather who was Taker's tag partner at that time?
Could have been. It could have been. So I may have putting this on Twitter. 3 of them are Hall of Famers, and then there was me. And who ever thought those guys would be Hall of Famers then? But somebody said, I give Stone Cold. I give him the name. I didn't give him the name Stone Cold. I give him the name Austin. because he come to Memphis. His name was Steve Williams. I said, well, you can't be Steve Williams here. He said, why not? That's my damn name. And I said, well, we already got one Steve Williams. Dr. Death, Steve Williams. You can't have two of them. I mean, so I said, think of a name. I'll come back. So I went around, did some stuff, come back. You got a name? No. Run around, come back. Now Lance Russell, the announcer, is waiting there for a name. He said, what are we going to call the kid, Dutch? I said, hell, I don't know. I said, call him Steve friggin' Austin. And he says, like the $6 million man? I said, no, in your case, more like the $6 man. Now get your ass out there. And that's where he got the name, and he kept it. And Stone Cold later was given to him by his girlfriend, he said.
Yep.
So I said how he got it. And he still tells that story. So he come back in the dressing room after the match. Match wasn't that bad. I was in a badass mood anyway, trying to book that dying ass place. This was after Vince had taken over everything. And what year did you say this was?
Oh, I didn't say year. This is probably around 89 or something.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 81. I said, no, we was doing great business in 81. So he walked in my little dressing room up front. Lawler was here. I was here, and somebody else, Jerry Jarrett was over there, but Jerry Jarrett wasn't there. He walked in. He says, what didn't you like about my match? I said, no, it'd be a lot easier to ask what I did like about your match, which is nothing. And I've told this before. I think I hurt his feelings. I said, this is what I want you to do. I want you to take a chair, and I want you to sit outside the dressing room or somewhere where you can see the matches. I want you to watch every match every night till you leave. And he did that. I walked by later. There's an hour later or so. There he was, chewing his tobacco and watching the match. And I said, damn, I cannot believe a wrestler who actually does what you ask him to do. But in so learning, he told me years later, he says, that was the best advice you ever gave me on the spur of the moment. He said, I know you didn't think of it, but so I went out there every night and watched every match. Even when I got to WWF, I watched every match every night and developed my own style. And it helped him.